The sea has always been humanity's greatest paradox. It connects civilizations, feeds nations, guards empires, but it can easily drown them all. Every great empire that mastered the waves believed the ocean would make them eternal, but every one of them was wrong, because the sea doesn't serve empires, it outlives them. From Carthage to Britain, the same waters that carried ships, riches, and soldiers also carried their ruin. The sea gives power freely, but it always collects a debt. And today in MapMind, we'll uncover how that pattern shaped history and why it's happening again right now. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. Let's get into it. The city that ruled the sea. Before Rome ruled the world, Carthage ruled the waves. It was the pride of the Mediterranean, a trading superpower perched on the coast of North Africa. Its twin harbors were marvels of engineering. One for commerce, one for war. Circular docks filled with hundreds of ships, guarded by watchtowers that scanned the horizon for threats that never seemed to come. Carthage turned the sea into its moat, its lifeline, and its weapon. Its navy dominated from Spain to Egypt. Its merchants grew rich, trading metals, salt, and slaves. The sea made Carthage feel invincible. But the sea is a mirror, and it reflects power back at whoever stares into it. And soon, that reflection looked a lot like Rome. The Romans learned shipbuilding by capturing a single Carthaginian vessel, studying it, and building an entire fleet in its image. When they met again, the same waves that had carried Carthaginian merchants now carried Roman legions. At Zama, Carthage's army was destroyed. Its ships were burned. Its walls were pulled apart, stone by stone. The city that had once ruled the sea vanished beneath it. Carthage was humanity's first great maritime empire, and its first warning. Because when you build your kingdom on water, you have to remember, water always moves. Venice, the island that outgrew its ocean. 1,000 years later, the sea crowned a new empire. Venice, a city born from fear, built by refugees escaping from successive waves of Hun and Germanic invasions. They fled to the safety of the lagoon, and the lagoon rewarded them. Venice turned isolation into advantage. The same shallow waters that protected it from armies also opened it to trade. It became the bridge between East and West. For centuries, Venice thrived. Its docks overflowed with silk, glass, spices, and gold. Its navy ruled the Mediterranean, and its merchants ruled European finance. Venice didn't just live with the sea, it danced with it. But like every empire before it, Venice mistook stability for permanence. When Portuguese and Spanish explorers discovered new sea routes around Africa and across the Atlantic, trade bypassed the Mediterranean completely. The world map changed overnight, and Venice was no longer in the center of it. The city didn't fall to invasion, it fell to irrelevance. Its ships still floated, but they had nowhere left to go. Venice had mastered the sea, but only the old one. When the world found a bigger ocean, Venice became a monument to its own past. Spain, the empire that mistook gold for power. Fueled by faith, ambition, and firepower, it became the first global empire of the modern age. Its ships crossed oceans no one else dared to, conquering lands from the Caribbean to the Philippines. They brought home unimaginable wealth, mountains of gold and silver ripped from the Americas. The treasures of entire civilizations filled Spanish vaults. For a moment, Spain looked unstoppable. Its ships ruled the Atlantic. Its kings ruled the world. But wealth that comes easy dies just as easily. Gold poured in faster than the empire could use it. Inflation exploded. And then wars consumed the riches faster than galleons could deliver them. And when storms sank fleets or pirates struck the treasure routes, the empire's heartbeat stopped. The sea that had made Spain rich became a cruel creditor. The ocean doesn't care about flags or faith, it only rewards those who adapt. While Spain was chasing gold, Britain was chasing knowledge. In the cold north, Britain's shipyards smoked with coal, its ports buzzed with invention, and steam was replacing sails. And a new empire was rising, not on the promise of plunder, but on the power of industry. Britain, the island that couldn't hide forever. Britain's geography was its crown jewel. The sea had protected it from countless invasions, from Napoleon to the Nazis. It gave Britain both isolation and reach, safety at home and power abroad. With the Industrial Revolution, the island turned that advantage into domination. Steamships carried goods faster than any fleet in history. Its navy controlled every major trade route. Its colonies stretched across every continent. The sea was no longer a barrier. It was the bloodstream of the empire. Coal and steel flowed out while cotton and gold flowed in. And for a century, Britain seemed immortal. But technology has no loyalty. The same innovations that made Britain rich made distance irrelevant. Airplanes, submarines, and later missiles erased the moat that had guarded it for centuries. The empire's greatest defense became meaningless. As colonies declared independence, Britain's global web unraveled. The empire that had ruled by water was left adrift in an age ruled by air and information. The sea had made Britain powerful, but it had also kept it dependent. And when the tides of progress changed, the island found itself stranded. The ocean that never sleeps. The sea has always punished arrogance. It lures nations into believing they control it, then reminds them who's really in charge. Every empire that trusted the ocean too much ended up paying the same price. The sea is patient. It doesn't destroy empires quickly. It erodes them, tide by tide, storm by storm, until all that's left is salt and memory. And even now, that cycle hasn't stopped. Today, our oceans aren't just water. They're networks of trade, energy, and information. Container ships move 90% of the world's goods. Undersea cables carry nearly all of our internet traffic. Oil and gas pipelines snake beneath the seabed, connecting continents. The new maritime empires aren't ruled by kings, they're ruled by corporations and algorithms. But the rule of the sea hasn't changed. Whoever controls the flow, controls the world. And whoever forgets that, drowns. The question isn't who owns the sea. It's who will survive when it turns against them. The sea built civilizations. It gave us power, wealth, and connection. But every empire that trusted it too much ended up beneath its surface. Carthage burned, Venice sank, Spain faded. Britain broke. Each believed the sea would protect them. Each learned the same truth. The tide is loyal to no one. And yet we keep building new empires on its back. On shipping lanes, on oil routes, on invisible networks of data that span the ocean floor. Every generation thinks they've tamed the sea. Every generation forgets that it never sleeps. This is MapMind. If you enjoyed uncovering how geography creates and destroys empires, make sure to subscribe. Next time, we'll turn our eyes inland to the empires built not on water or walls, but on rivers. Because if the sea teaches us that distance doesn't last, rivers teach us that even the strongest currents eventually run dry. That permanence is an illusion, and that even the strongest civilizations are only ever renting time.